Chapter 4. A Dangerous Message.
Blink reached into her bag and pulled out a folded paper as she reached for Deus's hand to place it in her palm. As she said,
Deus, this is for you. It was given to me by Samark. He is an aide to the Council of Seven.
Deus, looking confused, said,
The Council, Blink. How would you have access to the Council of Seven?
I don't, Deus. It's hard to explain, but inside the wall, my father knows people. Like me, my father hopes to see your people free from the council, but even speaking of such a thing within the wall would result in exile to the wastelands. Samark secretly contacted my father about getting a message to the wall commanders. Only myself and my father know that I have a way to get through the wall, but even my father does not know how I get out. He only knows that I can. Despite his wish that I do not leave the city, he allows me to make my own choices. A few days ago, he came to me with this letter and said it was given to him by a man named Samark, who is an aide to the council, and asked me if it was possible to get it into your hands.
Blink, do you know what would happen to you if you were discovered carrying information from the council? Not to mention this Samark human?
Probably the same thing that would happen if the council learned I was leaving the city and helping the geos outside of the wall. Deus, I am young, but I am not naive. My father would not have asked me to take this risk if it were not important, and if he trusts this Samark enough to put me at risk to get it to you, it must be very important.
You have no way to know if we can trust this Samark human. What if this is a test to see if the wall commanders are loyal to the council?
I don't know if this is a test, Deus, but I know my father and he is an honorable man who cares for your people and for the humans. If he trusts this Samark enough to ask me to risk bringing you a message, I trust his judgment. You will have to decide for yourself what to do with it.
What is on the message? Blink?
I don't know. It's sealed with a stamped wax seal, and my father insisted that it was only for your eyes. You have a reputation as an honorable geo, and my stories of you probably didn't hurt, but my father believes you will want to see the message, so I agreed to deliver it.
Little friend, this is dangerous. And if you are discovered carrying information, the council will treat you and anyone involved, including our family, like traitors. You will be cast out of the city and forced to live in the wastelands.
So I can search for my own hard candies?
Deus, looking serious, added,
This is not a joke, Blink. Lives are at stake if you are discovered. I have enough to deal with without seeing you hurt or punished. You are very brave to get this to me, and I will give it all the consideration it merits. But in the future...
Blink interrupted.
Deus, you know I respect you because you've proven yourself worthy of respect. I would only ask that you consider the job I do around the wall each day, the dangerous areas I travel through, risks I take, and things I get away with to be where I need to be. And remember that I too deserve your respect and confidence. I know this city and I can manage the risks as I do each time I step outside of its walls.
Deus studied Blink for a moment and said,
You're right, little friend. You do have a way about you. I just don't want to see you hurt or in trouble.
Thank you, Deus. I value your concern for me, but I promise you, I am fine. I was given this message and I have delivered it. No one knows what is in it but you and Samark. I've spoken to no one about it, and your eyes are the only ones to see it.
Deus put her hand on Blink's shoulder and said,
Thank you for taking this risk for my people, Blink. I'm in your debt. I will look at the letter when I am alone.
Does this mean you will bring me back 2 things to trade at the market?
Nice try, little friend. It's time for you to get moving before you have the whole army running errands for you,
said Deus with a smile. Blink, whose head barely reached Deus's shoulder, quickly gave her a one-armed hug as she said,
Be safe, Deus,
and darted off. Deus smiled as Blink turned to leave and looked at the small folded letter in her hand before concealing it in her armour. She signalled for the gate to open, and the caravan began to move toward the wastelands as Deus sat in the lead vehicle, watching the dusty path ahead and thinking about the exchange with Blink.